everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, coming out here. And while the MVP award looks like it will be Lamar Jackson's, not Russell Wilson's, he had a heck of a season. Over 4,000 yards for the third time, 31 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions. And CD, while we saw the emergence of DK Metcalf late in the year, does Russell Wilson need more surrounding him firepower-wise offensively?
They certainly do, and I think the Seattle will work to get that. And if you're looking at the receiver position and you're looking at the draft, it's a really deep wide receiver class for 2020. So they'll have opportunities there. I think they'll just continue to fortify. They're going to want to get their running backs back. They had a couple that got dinged at the end of the year, and Chris Carson and Rashad Penny. But they get back to being Seattle that way, running the heck out of it and throwing to those big wide receivers. They feel pretty good about what Dangerous can give them at the quarterback position. And how about what he did at the Pro Bowl?
Oh, that was neat.
Was that, right?
Yeah.
He was voted the starter, looked at Drew Brees and said, hey, you're Drew Brees. You should start ahead of me, and gave up his position. Very cool.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. 20! And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one good for 37 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Earl Thomas has the speed, quickness, and skills to be a cornerback in the NFL, and I think he would have been a good one. But playing in the middle of this field as a free safety, I think he's the best eraser in the NFL. Takes care of any mistakes that happen in front of him and hardly ever lets anything get over his head.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
First play of the drive, a 1st down run. That sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. About 3 yards there to the 27. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
From the 27, Jackson. Snead's got it. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Seattle jogs back on the field here. You can't help but think with their season that the old cliche, the game of inches, comes into play for the 2019. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. 3rd and long. It's it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now here's Michael Dixon, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Jones on the return.
Come on, fellas.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. It's caught by Mark Ingram. Call it no gain on the dump-off, and it's third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. From the gun, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. Past the 20, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half, as the Ravens push further out in front. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points.
Rip right. Check 26, check 26. Any weapon.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And a little quarterback draw option works to perfection for him.
Yeah, it's hard to account for the quarterback in most situations on defense, and that's why the quarterback draw is so successful. Everyone else covered, makes a little fake, runs into the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Wilson. He'll buy some, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. They run it with Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Wilson now throwing on 3rd and long. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Matt Judon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return is Jones. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore coming back out here on offense. Charles, unfortunately for the Ravens this year, it just feels like a failure. Yes, the 14 wins in the regular season, but that divisional round loss to Tennessee, such a shocker, really stunned everybody in the NFL.
They certainly did, and I know exactly what you're saying when you say it feels like a failure, yet you don't want to say it, do you?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it just feels wrong to say that, but let's face it, the bottom line is getting...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down, eluding the pressure right. Roberts got it. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A very solid gain of 27.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram taking it in as the Ravens push further out in front. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the fourth down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on fourth down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
Tucker now to add the point after. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Let's get to some Hall of Fame talk while we have a second, because last week we mentioned the 15 guys that we knew were going into the Hall. 5 added: Isaac Bruce, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Steve Atwater, and Troy Polamalu. You think about it, CD. For Polamalu, it was his first year of eligibility. People knew he would go in. Atwater was his 16th year. He had to wait a long time.
He certainly did, and I often wonder about the psychology of it all, because when you're young in your career, meaning young retired, right, these things mean something to you, but I don't know if they hit with the same impact as it will for Steve Atwater. 16th year. Now, I think Steve would like somewhere to be a happy medium. Maybe the 8th year would have been a lot better. But the bottom line is, the older you get, boy, imagine the emotions running through there, the validation, probably haven't had the applause in a long time. That's going to come back to you now. Troy Polamalu, he essentially stepped off the field and into the Hall of Fame. But it doesn't matter. Bottom line is getting there. Congratulations to all.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10. It's Wilson. It's caught. Lock it. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To throw again is Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Throwing again here, Wilson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take it. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to...
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down.
Let's go.
So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? They'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Jackson escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. And an alley to run. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball running it, but not in that situation. I mean, I think we got an example of why NFL coaches really don't like their quarterback in the running game.
Because whether he keeps it or not, he's likely going to take a hit, isn't he?
No doubt about it. And defenses, they're looking to put that hit on quarterback.
Jackson now. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's Carson, and that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw is Wilson. He may try and run for this. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Now they go for it on 4th down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. Jackson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it, because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. The Seahawks on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Again, Wilson. And this is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson completes it to Dixon. And a tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the 1st. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call, But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the out, watch the out.
Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. From the gun, it's Jackson. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So that one will be accepted.
Get ready, get ready.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, it's Wilson. Underneath pass here to Van Ness. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, and then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Now he'll pull it down. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First and 10.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson, flushed out right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. And it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.